My name is Emily Collins, and I did my presentation on the culture of Hungary. The population in Hungary is about 10.3 million people, and 89% of the people are Hungarian, 4% of people are Roma, 2.6% of people are German, 2% of people are Serbian, 0.8% are Slavic, and 0.7% are Romanian. The language spoken in Hungary is 98% Hungarian, but in more recent years, minority languages such as German, Croatian, Romanian, Slavic, Romanian, Serbian, and Slovene have become more prominent throughout the country. Families play a big part in Hungarian society. It's really the center of social society. Many generations of extended family often live in the same household, so you'll have your aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, like a bunch of people living in one household because they all help raise each other, pretty much. The grandparents especially often help raising the grandchildren because they're more wise and they're often well respected. All of the family plays an important role in financial and emotional stability of the children. Friendships in Hungary are very personal. Most friendships, all of the friends know everything about each other, very personal things that most people in the U.S. wouldn't tell anyone. Especially they often enjoy hearing romantic aspects of others' lives. And when they ask personal questions, it's not considered rude or out of line or anything. It's essentially just a part of the getting to know you process in Hungary. There are a few different religions that are practiced mostly in Hungary. One of them, well, the most prominent one being Roman Catholic, which is about 67.5%. Calvinist is the next highest one that's taught throughout, and it's 20%. 5% of people are Lutheran, and atheist and other religions that aren't very prominent, it's about 7.5%. The government that they have is a parliamentary democracy government, and that means that the political power is held by an elected parliament, and the parliament is representing the people. When meeting people in Hungary, it's kind of similar to America. We shake hands, but the men usually wait until the woman extends her hand first to then shake her hand because it's considered proper, I guess. The older generations will still bow to women on certain occasions. Close friends and family will kiss each other lightly on the cheek. And in business meeting, people will address each other by their title, like boss, vice president, things of that nature. Dining etiquette and table manners. These I feel like are a lot different than the U.S. because I feel like the U.S. is extremely casual and there's not really that many rules anymore. When you're invited to dinner in Hungary, you arrive on time. There's a 5-minute grace period, you could say, that allows you, if you're 5 minutes late, that's okay, but any more than that, it's not accepted. Guests, when you're going to a person's house or when you're invited, you're not to ask them for a tour of their house. That's considered rude. And you're especially not supposed to eat until the hostess does. So as soon as she sits down and starts eating, you're allowed, but before that, no. You're not allowed to rest your elbows on the table because that's rude and improper. And when you're drinking beer or another alcoholic beverage, you don't clink your glasses together. When you're having someone over, your hospitality is measured by the amount of food you're served and the variety. And as a guest, you're supposed to try at least everything on your plate because that's what's considered proper, I guess. The communication in relationships in Hungary I also feel a lot different than in the U.S. because in the U.S. it's so easy to send a text message or an email because they get it fast and you don't have to worry about meeting up with someone. But Hungarian people would much prefer face-to-face meetings rather than letters or emails or text messages. And with the United States, we like saying what we need to say and being finished. And the people in Hungary, they don't like having vague statements. You should, it's like a conversation, and they like conversation. They don't like one words and leaving. people in Hungary that do not share their personal lives, they're thought to be rude and untrustworthy. Um, and I feel like that's also a lot different than the U.S. because, well, we always feel awkward when we make eye contact with someone, and that's completely different. Um, the Hungary people we would call, I guess, blunt, because they say what they think and say how they feel, and you're expected to do the same, and you're expected to accept it. People dress very formal in Hungary. They don't wear jeans. They're considered casual, but they're not commonly worn in the city. For business, you would dress formal and conservative, and business wear is appropriate for all occasions. And women would usually wear nice suits or casual dresses. Um, the Hungary culture, it changes every year, every day, just like any other culture. They communicate to each other in ways that people in the U.S. have forgotten how. Because we have the internet and we have text messaging, we have all these things that make face-to-face look more difficult. And it's nice to see that there's still people that like meeting face-to-face, like having actual conversations with people. And I think that face-to-face helps people to have relationships that are stronger and healthier. So I think that we could honestly learn something from Hungary. Thank you.